Welcome, everybody. We are live on LSR Live. I'm your host, Scott Ritzema, and today we're having a very helpful, I think, practical, constructive conversation about some really cutting edge products and solutions to some of the challenges that we face with our health. Our guest has gone from broadcast television to natural health enthusiast, and so we're going to introduce her in just a moment, and we'll dig in. And this is a good one to bring your questions about different supplements, different treatments, different things that we can use in our health journey. Speaking of which, the RevitaGuard, these are flying off the shelves again because it's fall. People are back to school, and I recommend you get that at that QR code, the RevitaGuard throat spray and the sinus spray, Revita Sinus. One of you guys' testimonials jumped out at me because I love this perspective. The person says, these worked for me. That's the punchline, but I want to back up. One of you guys said, I use the throat and nasal spray when a drip causes my throat to tickle. The next morning, I start to feel better and so on. This is not diagnosing, treating, or curing anything. This is just somebody's experience. But the issues I've had in the past have not occurred this past season. I'll continue to use these in addition to getting extra rest and water. That's the key. See, we teach here the laws of natural health, staying healthy, using God's free remedies. And then the LSR store, obviously one of the most popular web stores with natural health products for a reason, because these are 4.9 stars and they just work and they taste good. They soothe the throat. They feel good. And I'll tell you, some of the things you're about to learn from our guest are really on the cutting edge. So let's bring up the bio so I can introduce properly Melissa Summers, co-owner of Creators Nature Blend. The creator, that is what this channel is all about, is giving glory to God. So what you're going to hear about is nature's own remedies from the creator's hand. Well, Melissa began her journey with a shared passion for natural health and wellness. The creator's nature blend is a line of artisanal skincare products sold nationwide that combines traditional wisdom with modern innovation, achieved through its commitment to, again, there's the word, natural ingredients and sustainable practice as well. So let's bring up Melissa, if you wouldn't mind, guys. She has been waiting for, thank you for waiting for the long intro there. Boy, you have a beautiful background, Melissa.
All about nature, Scott. Nature.
The medium is the message, yes? So your context communicates something even before your words do. But can you tell us, just to start off, a little bit of your background and what got you interested in this so many years ago?
Well, for years and years, of course, my background is radio and television broadcasting. I always love to just encourage and inspire people. But back then, I was just in the world. So I would entertain them, would play music, would say different things. But I've always been into health, especially natural health. So I would always tell them about little juices and smoothies and different things for their hair, because we women, our hair is our glory by God. But so sometimes they were like, "Oh, Melissa, ew, that was gross," and so it was like a catch thing. So I've always had an interest, but the Lord took it to another level when I got married. And when that happened, and I was talking to my friend Naomi, she was so afraid to try to pronounce my name. My married name now. I was like, well, just hyphenate it. But my husband is Mario Beaupertuis,
Okay.
French, but he's a farmer. So when we were courting, he would be walking, or we would be walking together. He's all into trees and fruit trees, and I'm into wild medicinal and edible plants. So he would be looking up, I would literally be looking down, and we're walking together, and people would actually laugh at us. So anyway, the Lord took that once we got married, and he just catapulted our mission together as a couple and as a family.
That is a really neat story, and how beautiful that you had the whole garden of God covered up and down together as a team. The Bible talks about the two shall become one. And it sounds like you two have had a real health journey walking with your creator, just like he walked with Adam and Eve in the garden. So you went from broadcast television, like that's a unique story, that we've had a lot of guests on. I don't think we can say that we've had this experience yet. to now owning and running a full-fledged natural health product line. Tell us about that transition that you've made, and when was that made, and how has the Lord led in your life? And then folks, we are going to talk about those products because you heard about hair and skin, and we're going to talk about some really cutting edge things in the natural health community. But first, tell us how you made that transition.
Okay, let me tell you, it was like nothing short of a miracle because first I've been single for 18 years and it's through a divorce when I decided to, and this is just real short, when I decided to come to the Lord, lost everything in a matter of a month. The house was foreclosed on. The husband asked for a divorce. The car was totaled. So literally, the Lord was taking me through a Job experience. My husband, he was single for 14 years. He also went through a traumatic experience, lost his daughter, one of his daughters to death. That's a whole story in itself. But the Lord kept us single, and didn't know each other, for a while. And that's another story. But it was like the Lord brought us together. We've been married now for a year and a half. We both were missionaries at a ministry learning about health and natural health. So when the Lord brought us together, we were literally volunteer missionaries. He left the islands, sold everything he had. I sold and lost everything I had. So when the Lord was like, it was time, literally, let me give you one of our key products, which is like one of our top sellers which is the skin restoration serum. The Lord started impressing, and I don't even remember how, but there was an ingredient. One of the plants is called purslane, which grows wild. And I was intrigued by this plant because it is the highest plant in the plant-based kingdom of omega-3 fatty acid, a plant. One day, my husband comes home. He said, "Babe, you're not going to believe this. There is purslane growing in a bed." It was literally like the Lord purposely, because it's a huge, huge farm, but this one bed had purslane growing in it. And he came home, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me." So I was like, "Okay, Lord, I hear you." So when he came home, I was like, "We gotta go get it." And at that moment was when we decided we hear what the Lord is trying to tell us. So we started in fact, the Lord gave us the name, the Creator's Nature Blend. And I'm like, "Lord," because God wants us to be able to give him glory, and he wants us to get back to nature, his creation.
That's beautiful. That's really the story of redemption is God created everything perfect. We've messed it all up beginning way back there in the garden with the serpent, and then all of a sudden God announces he's got a plan to restore us to his original creation, to heal us of sin, to heal us of disease, to give us new bodies, to bring us to heaven, a restored Eden. And you guys have your little miniature of that, a little object lesson for that redemption. Now you mentioned that skin restoration serum.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that I think a lot of people want to hear more about. I've got your little promo on it. Reduces scars and wrinkles, tones, and regenerates balances skin tone, and tightens your skin, promotes wound healing, cell regeneration, and reduces puffiness and swelling under the eyes. How does it do that? I mean, that's quite a list.
Let me tell you. Okay, sometimes, because I'm not into sales. I'm not a salesperson.
Right.
I'm into, broadcasting. But let me tell you, when the Lord showed what it can do, first of all the ingredients we either wildcraft or my husband farm grows the majority, especially in the skin serum, because it's just dear to us. So to learn, one of the key ingredients is comfrey, and it's a whole list of things that comfrey does. One, it heals from, they call it like a bone knitter. Okay, so from the bone all the way to your skin, to the tissue, cellular level. So when your body is reforming, when you use the serum, you really have to see what it does. And literally, my mind just goes because I get so excited. But let me tell you something. Okay, comfrey. And you can Google this, what comfrey does. Okay, promotes new cell growth. Okay, stimulates collagen production. So you don't need a whole litmus of ingredients. Literally, the first two ingredients in all of our products, especially and including our first product, which was the skin restoration serum, is love and prayer. And then from that, we've got the comfrey, we've got the purslane, we've got plantain in it, and all of those are exceptional for repairing and restoring. Example, there's a young lady, well, she's almost 70, but she looks beautiful, started using the serum. And all of a sudden, one day, she messaged me. She was like, okay, I don't believe this. She said well, she's almost 70, but, and she didn't think it was because she had these dark circles and so forth. It went away, but the lines that she said she had in her forehead, it removed the fine lines. If you Google comfrey and skin, it will tell you it will do that. So to get a simple, all natural product with no fillers, the only thing you have is love, prayer, plants that my husband either farm grows or we wild forage. And what is the carrier oil? Sweet almond oil, which is organic, which is also good for your skin. And I'm like, Lord, so to be able to minister to people, to where because let me tell you, the Lord is trying to get us back to nature, back to natural. We wear all kinds of makeup and so forth because watching television in the world has made us insecure, but we're not realizing a lot of those are what do you call them, face screens. They're whatever they call them, when you send a picture and it looks beautiful, it's usually a screen, it's a filter. So it's time for us to get back to our natural beauty. And God is so good that He gives us aid, He gives us a help. So if we have spots and blemishes and so forth, God has a natural way to put it together to assist nature for us to get back to our natural beauty.
Oh, I love it. That's beautiful. No pun intended. Um, as we're thinking about the different products in your creator's product line, one of the one that really got my attention the most is the sour sop leaf extract.
Oh,
Can you tell us what that's all about? Like when I mentioned folks cutting edge and some major studies coming out, and I don't think
oh,
most Americans at least know even what that is. A lot of folks in tropical climates live where that is, and it's easily accessible. But you've packaged this up in again a very natural way. Tell us about that one.
okay. Well, first of all, now, okay, the world is like just going crazy because finally they're learning more, one, about natural, two, the sour sap. People are losing their minds now. Remember, my husband, he's an islander, so he knows how to grow these things. I mean, right here where we are on this farm, he's got papaya trees with papaya on it. We have a pineapple. We've got sour sop, no fruit yet, but from the leaves, we make the sour sop extract. Okay, now one thing, if again I say Google because don't just believe me, be as a Berean, search those things. When we started making the sour sap extract, okay, we can't keep it in. We cannot. I mean, they're like, what is it? The creatorsnatureblend.com. What is the website? They're just flooding it because it's a whole litmus list of the benefits of soursop. Soursop tea is amazing. Soursop fruit, of course, is amazing. Soursop juice is amazing. But think about it. When you get it in the tincture form, like we produce it, you're getting it like probably 3 to 4 to 5 times even more potent because it's concentrated. Not enough so that it harms you. Let me give you an example. There's a young lady, the Lord in His providence led me to her. I'm in a group, a health group that talk about natural, and it's over 300,000 subscribers and followers from around the nation. And so I was looking through the comments. They were talking about soursop. Saw a young lady just in the chat, and she was like, she's 35 years old. She has 4 children. She has triple negative breast cancer, and she just moved. She's by herself, and my heart was just bleeding for her. It's like, Lord, I just started praying. So how do you say, slipped into her DM. I said, sweetie, I got what you need. I have some soursop tincture, and I really believe through prayer, through your following and obedience, God can help you. So, how about out of all the places in the entire world and over 300,000 people in that group, this young lady providentially to have been living literally about 40 miles from where we are. So my husband and I said, you know what? Let's literally take it to her personally. We took her order to her personally. We hugged her. We prayed with her and we talked about God to her. We didn't cram it down their throat. We just pointed her to the creator of the Creator's Nature Blend. That young lady messaged us about it. I think a week and a half later, she said, Melissa, I've had this. Now, mind you, she has a stage 4, by the way, triple negative breast cancer. She had some pain that was so bad, it was to her nerve. She said, she has been pain free for 3 days consecutively since it's about a week and a half since she was taking it, the sour sap. That's one of the miracle stories. Now, again, we give credit to the creator, but the creator says the leaves are for the healing of the nations. He wants us to be whole, physically, emotionally, especially spiritually. But Jesus walked on this earth healing people, and he has given us within hand's reach in the leaves and the trees of the field healing properties. And I'm just mm.
Yeah, Melissa, I get it. It really humbles you to be in the creator's hands and see him working so powerfully through simple methods. You don't need some big pharma concoction, multi-million dollar funded, pharmakia. It's leaves.
It's
I just
leaves.
love it.
It's not that
Prayer. What was your thing earlier? Prayer, what, and leaves?
the first what I just said, I don't know, but I know the first 2 ingredients is love and prayer.
Love,
Yes,
prayer, and
yes.
plants is what you said.
So
You
when
know,
you love go ahead.
I don't know of, I'm sure there exists, but I don't know of a product line where everything that you're producing is you've grown or found it. Like you are foraging or grow or cultivating everything. That is serious quality control. You don't need to send this off to laboratories to make sure there's no heavy metals and whatever from China. You got it. It's in
And
locally
let me
in Georgia.
Scott, yes, we're in Georgia, and let me tell you, I posted a picture on Facebook of us literally cutting a bitter melon because we bitter melon is one of the tinctures that we produce. And my husband literally planted, we literally grow it, and man, I could just go and grab one and show it to you now. It's like that's what we do, and I'm telling you. God just blesses. We again, it's not like we're giving all the credit to the actual my husband just brought one.
There it is.
This is
Nice. That's what's in your
grown right
photo that you sent in. Yeah.
we grow it, Scott, and the Lord has given us wisdom to make a most potent. We had I call a young lady because young at heart. She has bone on bone knees, so you can imagine the pain that she's going through. This woman, she's probably like 75. 78 somewhere around there. She got the bitter melon, started taking it and some of our other tinctures, and I saw her literally with my own eyes. She was walking unaided like there was nothing going on with her. And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." I mean, she hadn't had surgery. She's contemplating that, but that's how powerful when you pray, you believe, and you're obedient, God can and will heal. No question. He will heal.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? The most important ingredient you've got in love, prayer, and plants is actually love because God is love. And I
Mhm.
love the comment that somebody made there. Thanks, guys, for putting people's comments up in the chat so that we can engage with them. Do ask your questions, guys. We want to do Q&A in a few minutes. But it's love. It's really just care and love. That is who God is and what he desires for us. A lot of people have a false view, really, of God's character. And you guys in your ministry, really, are reflecting that. So, and I love the idea. Anybody who's wondering, where do I go in life? What do I do? Just
Mhm.
allow your passion to serve others to drive you. Like, what is it that gets you excited? Like Melissa gets super excited about bitter melon, right? It's like she needs to be in that line of work right there. So, young people, there's some advice for you. But here, speaking of the bitter melon tincture, lowers and regulates blood sugar,
Oh,
powerful aid in weight loss, is anti-inflammatory, has cancer-fighting properties, decrease cholesterol levels, inhibits cancerous cell growth, possess antiviral and antibacterial effects. I might get that.
Let me tell you, it is no joke for that because one of the things, we were at an event on Sunday and almost sold out. And I was telling people, one, it's like a natural insulin. So when I talk to them, and of course, when you have a bunch of people and they're asking questions and they're buying product, we don't have enough time to do a long consultation, but we do a brief one because this helps nature. There are other things that we need to do. So I was talking to a young lady. I said, listen, this will work, but you have to walk. Walk is a natural insulin. Bitter melon is definitely a natural insulin. So imagine doing both of these things, especially for type 2 diabetes. People want to get off of the medications. They want to depend on God and nature and doing the right things, but they don't know. So we try to educate them. And this we're assisting nature. So if we do all that we can, and we have what we call, of course, Scott, you know it, 8 laws of health. Some people use new start, some people use God's plan, but all of these things. So these tinctures and oils and so forth that we make, God blesses it, one, because of our faith, because of our love to give back and to show people what God can do. And let me weight loss, oh my goodness. Honestly, I take it and I tell people, so listen, I don't have diabetes, but the side effect of the bitter melon tincture is weight loss. Now, if you can deal with that side effect, then you need to go ahead and get because and again, Google it, you can research it. Bitter melon literally blocks fat from getting in. Block I mean, let me even read it for you just in case you don't want to Google it. Okay, helps prevent fat accumulation and reduces fat deposits by inhibiting fat cell formation and promoting fat breakdown. So not only does it prohibit it from collecting and blowing us up, but it also helps to break down the fat you already have. Now, I'm okay, I'll be transparent. I'll just put it out there. I was 235 pounds. I don't like to say it even for my husband, but I was. I mean, I was proportionate, but I was full proportionate. But let me tell you, now I'm under that. Let me just say that. I'm under 200, well
Give
over.
God the glory. Praise him. His methods work.
It really, really does. But let me tell you, things are so hard for us that we really do, and God doesn't mind. We really do need some assistance from nature. Some assistance from nature. God will help us. So these simple natural remedies that, we carry, that Living Springs has now, and some other stores and that we carry on our website, they really do help you. Prayer helps, but prayer with and faith without works is dead.
Absolutely. And you've got others too. We mentioned skin and hair at the beginning. We haven't touched on the hair yet. What is your ultra hair growth tonic all about?
Oh, let me tell you. I mean, we have folks that just order it, order it, order it. That was another miracle. Before my husband and I were led to move to the Georgia area where we were living as missionaries, there was a young lady, and she beautiful, had long, beautiful hair, didn't know that she had alopecia. And one day, she doesn't even know that I know, so I will never call her name. And I never said anything to her. I just began to pray. So I sat, she was sitting down and I was standing up, and I happened to look down and I saw tracks and I saw her scalp and I saw where some hair was over. And I'm like, oh my. I began to start praying, say, Lord, please, please, because she's not the only one. And I pleaded with the Lord that I may have, and my husband and I would have something that would help. So do you know, under our when I researched, there was a formula out of Asia that is well known for alopecia. Do you know 2 of those ingredients, 2 from Asia? One was growing under our very doorstep. We were staying in a little humble trailer. It was growing not only under the doorstep, we were almost stepping on it because it was growing out from the doorstep. Then you could stand in the door. I could look across maybe, what is it, maybe 500 feet. There was another ingredient. It was 3 main ingredients. And I'm like, "Okay, I hear you, Lord." So we started producing it, and people are truly blessed. I mean, if you have edges that are well, if you had edges, or if your hair is thinning, or if you're balding, or if you're dealing with alopecia, this was a formula that the Lord gave us that we have gotten testimony that people really say it helps.
Oh, that's beautiful. God cares about these kind of things. So we might say, oh, that's just a little thing. But, he cares about the little things. I care about my daughter's hair. God cares about all of his daughter's hair.
Is God
So,
as a woman, well, men too, because 'cause we've sold to men who are bald or balding. Hair is our covering. It's the glory from God, especially for women. It's painful. You're going through chemo and cancer and all it, and you're losing your hair and it's coming out, it's thinning out. I'm telling you, that's traumatic. And God really does care.
amen. Amen. You got one or two more that we didn't talk about yet. Then we can go to the questions. You got Cleaver's liquid extract. You got ginkgo biloba extract, and boy, when I read your little promos on those, I'm like, man, there is a lot to these herbs and other extracts.
And imagine, you're right, imagine getting them. Like I said, us doing it, and I really just want to tell you, God has something exceptionally special, including health and wealth. Your wealth is your health, and God wants you to have that. So, okay, let's talk about the ginkgo biloba. That one, most folks know that it's excellent for your cognitive, for memory, for early stages of dementia. It helps with concentration. Other things it helps with, people don't realize it actually helps with vertigo. It helps with heart issues because it the blood flow. It helps your blood flow. Now, let me okay. I hope the kids are at school or somewhere because let me just say for married folk, okay? Because it does help with blood flow. It helps with your personal relations. I'm just saying, let's leave it
Yeah.
at there, okay?
No, this is important. I mean, God created marriage. He created that intimate relationship, and we want marriages to thrive.
And let me tell you, and I wrote this down, so forgive me for reading because I don't want to leave anything out. You're absolutely right. So for men and for women, it helps with the libido. For women, it helps us with our hormones. That's right. I'm telling you, ginkgo biloba helps with our hormones. If you're dealing with menopause or premenopause. It helps with those symptoms, with hot flashes, with those mood swings. It helps women with menstrual, with PMS. Believe it or not, and for men, it helps because again from the blood flow. So it helps with sexual function. And excuse me, a lot of people are afraid to even talk about it, but it's the reality. And in the confines of your marital bedroom, those things are important. It's a part of the whole package of blessings that God has given to married folks or a married couple.
Indeed, read Song of Solomon. You see that in the Bible. So,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
these are mature conversations, but they're important to be able to talk about, and as brothers and sisters in Christ, encourage one another on with, "Hey, have you tried that?" And the
Yeah.
ginkgo biloba.
Yeah, and the good thing about it is that, like, our ginkgo biloba, our bitter melon, and whichever our soursop, those we it's alcohol free. There's no
Ooh,
need to
good.
use alcohol, and Imma tell you why I did that, real quick, sidebar. I was dealing with some issues some years ago, and a beloved sister gave me some tinctures, and it was alcohol, and I was wondering, it's like, I'm feeling a little happy, a little extra happy. It was the alcohol. I'm like, I was honestly, I was getting a buzz, but the Lord had me remember that because now it's like I don't want to use alcohol. So we use, you know, USDA food grade organic vegetable glycerin. So not only is it medicinal, but it has a little sweet thing. It doesn't spike, your sugar because it has a little sweet. It's a natural sweet. So it's very pleasant.
Very nice, very nice. Cleaver's liquid extract, a strong supporter of lymphatic drainage. You may have to explain that to some listeners. A diuretic helps detox and remove waste, decreases congestion, and reduces swelling. clear
Mhm.
not toxin buildup in the lymphatic system and blood.
So the cleavers and your lymphatic system is like your cleansing system. So if you're dealing with cancer and your lymph nodes, which are all throughout different parts of your body, you will they will swell. And a lot of times they will clog. So it helps to flush your lymphatic system, which helps with every system of your body, including your kidneys. It helps with urine, your bladder. It just goes on and on. So this is something that um, detox and fluid retention, of course, because it's dealing with your kidneys as well. So if you want an overall, and it even helps to purify your blood. Cleavers. A lot of people haven't even heard of cleavers. Let me tell you how the Lord told me that we needed to make an extract with the cleavers. When we moved to Georgia, it was all over everywhere. And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know what it was." So I researched it, and when I started reading the benefits, and it's like how many people have fluid retention? Cleavers will help flush it out.
God is so good to us. And I think that when people ask questions about these, knowing your passion and interest in these various different remedies, we're going to have a good conversation. So let's listen to the audience now. I know there were some people who were just saying hi. We love to hear where you're watching from. Just type it in where you're listening to Melissa and I from, and we will get you a little shout out, a little hello, but also bring your questions. What can we do to help you today with your health journey? So we've got Della Daisy watching from Missouri. All
Mm.
right. Welcome, Della. And Kelly Jennings from Little Rock, Arkansas. I guess you guys are pretty much neighbors. La Sonia watching from Virginia. All right. Three from America so far. I know we've got an international audience as well. Those are three all from the South as well. Queen says, praise God for her healing and for the
Amen.
story you told. And God
Mhm.
bless them for being so kind and loving. Amen. And where is she located? We did mention that Georgia probably after the comment came in, but where in Georgia?
Yeah, the young lady that we talked about, you mean the one with cancer?
Oh, I thought the question was asking where is Melissa
Oh,
located?
where we're located, okay, we're on we're just moving here, so we don't know we're we're near Columbus, Georgia, so we're, like, probably an hour north of Atlanta.
Okay.
S
Yep. I know the area. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Next door neighbors to Alabama, of course. So Shirley Mack says, Cold Lake, Alberta, Canada. You live in one of the most beautiful corners of God's globe. I
Wow.
love Alberta. Andrea Rodriguez is watching
From
from Houston.
Houston.
Welcome, Andrea. And Eloise Wiggins from Rochester, New York. Welcome as well from Rochester. And wow, so bitter melon may be a good alternative for those who can't take the GLP-1s for weight loss.
Oh, let me tell you, bitter melon, honestly, I'm not telling you to take off your medications or anything. I just know the results that I see, that I hear. Bitter melon, you don't need anything for weight loss. If you do 2 things, remember 30 minutes of walking maintains, 1 hour reduces, okay? So if you give me 1 hour of walking, take your bitter melon tincture, take it regularly, and of course, prayer. Watch what happens. Now, don't be eating crazy with all, the fried foods and so forth, So, just adjust those things. And of course, pray, have a tight relationship with the Lord. But I guarantee you, by God's grace, you will see weight loss. That bitter melon tincture is amazing. I mean, I literally once we get off, I have to make another batch anyway, which we have harvested today. But sis, do that. I'm telling you, if you want a side effect being weight loss, that's what you want. That's exactly
Nice.
what you want. Mhm.
And do that 30 minutes walking, whether you're taking the tincture or not. That 30 minutes a day is so powerful. And it's only 30 minutes. And you get most of the benefit from exercise out of just 30 minutes. If you can do an hour, that's great. If you can do 2 hours, that's great. If you can be active all the time, that's great. But the steepest part of the curve is the first 30 minutes. So
That's right.
don't be sedentary all day long. Make sure to get that 30-minute walk in every day. for not just weight management, but general all around health. Who else do we have in the chat with questions? Okay, what's your website?
Okay, the website is thecreatorsnatureblend.com. Thecreatorsnatureblend.com.
That's one of the best names that I've encountered in this work. And we've interviewed so many different people with different ministries. I love that. The Creator's Nature Blend. That's
Scott,
beautiful.
Scott, the Lord gave it to us. It was like, okay, so we were just
Yeah.
amazed.
It's a spiritual journey for you and your husband. I think people see the genuineness in that. There are a lot of products out there. There's a lot of sales happening out there, but what you're doing is just walking with people in their health journey and providing something in the process. But there's the link. Thank you, LSR, for posting that. And we also had somebody from South Wales, UK.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome. Thanks for being with us from the UK. I should say good evening over there. Nene says, is there anything else in the tincture besides the glycerin and the bitter melon?
Good question. It's strictly glycerin and bitter melon and love and prayer.
Yes, and you
Those are
mentioned
the
vegetable pure organic vegetable glycerin. This is not
food
some,
grade.
yeah, weird concoction with
Oh,
alcohol in it, like literally concocting us an alcoholic product.
no,
Crazy what they do out there in the
yeah,
market. I gotta go with people I trust. Like, seriously, I wanna know what they're doing to what I'm putting in my body. Lorna
right.
Green says, "Can I get your products in the UK? Can you ship to the UK?" Or I guess that's a question for LSR.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
at your website, yeah.
And Living
Wonderful.
Springs Retreat, they carry the product. So definitely,
You
definitely.
you're really committed doing the stream outside. The mosquitoes or what are they that are coming
Oh,
after you over there?
I get eat up, but it's like I would,
It's worth it.
it really I wish all of you could come out. I mean, just to see. Oh no, you need to see my husband and his boots and his hat.
Yeah. Oh, totally. You guys are the real deal. If he's willing to come over, we want him to say hi. But LSR mentions, of course, these are, I mean, you've heard of Anna's Wild Yam Cream. You've heard of castor oil and people banging down the doors at LSR to buy those. I'm telling you, these, especially probably that soursop, I see that as a major move and trend. It's all there on the LSR store and get them from, okay, so LSR recommends going not to the LSR store if you're in the UK, but going to Melissa's URL if you're in the UK. And anybody else can go in the US, can go to LSR store. All the products are available there. And there is Melissa's direct URL, thecreatorsnatureblend.com.
Yeah, because we are
Who's
set.
up?
Yeah, we are set up to ship internationally. Because my husband is from overseas, so
What tofu do you use for hair? Okay, there was a typo. I was thinking, what extra firm or which kind? um, okay, so a serious question. It wasn't about tofu. I think that was a tofu typo. What do you use for hair growth? Yeah, go back to your product on hair.
oh yeah, okay. So the ultra hair is called Ultra Hair Growth Tonic. Make sure you get that because I'm telling you, one, we have it in a tincture form. It's an oil, so it's easy to get it to your scalp. We have, I mean, all races use it. I mean, I was talking to a young lady, Caucasian, and she was having hair issues. So it's not just a cultural thing. It crosses barriers. Some of the ingredients, in fact, I don't know if you can see right there, but that's papaya. Some
Ooh,
papaya
yum.
leaves. Now married to an islander, women typically the men come home with flowers. My husband comes home with papaya leaves and oh, I found a ginkgo biloba tree, so he comes with ginkgo bilobas.
I
But
love it.
yeah, so the ultra hair growth tonic, we have papaya in it. We papaya leaves. We also, of course, peppermint to generate the scalp. We have other things, something called foxglove plant. So a lot of these things we literally research. I'm a researcher anyway, and pray, and the Lord puts these things together. So there are some things that you might not recognize, but in Asia they would. So
Hmm.
you definitely want to get if you having any kind of hair issue with thinning or we even had a gentleman, like I said, a gentleman. He was it wasn't balding, but he wasn't secure because his hairline was going back, and he bought it. He was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, yeah." Yeah.
Yeah, I used to teach economics, so we talked about a depression, we talked about a recession, and now we talk about receding hairlines as we get older. Different kind of recession, but I don't think I wanted that either kind of recession myself. But who else do we have coming up? So yeah, get the hair growth tonic, men and women, all races. That's beautiful. We've got the URL again. Thank you, LSR, for that reminder. The creatorsnaturesblend.com. And Cherry says, how do we get Melissa's product? Oh, I think what LSR was doing is probably answering Cherry's question right there in the chat.
Mhm.
So there's the URL, and of course at the LSR store as well. Someone's asking, what do you suggest for the amount that you should take of the tinctures? Does it say
Very
on the bottle the recommended amount?
It does say on the bottle, but, bring me a couple of more. I'm having him bring me something to show you 'cause I'm a big one. Okay, so, if you're in good health and not having a serious issue, take one dropper full. So the dropper full is just when you squeeze it and let it go, of course, however much is in there, which is usually about half of the total dropper. So one, not drop, but full dropper in the morning and one in the evening. If you're dealing with a health issue, then for me, I would take 2 droppers in the morning, 2 droppers in the evening. If you have a sensitivity, I would test it. Now, if you're taking insulin, be very careful. Check. It's natural that won't harm you, but it works so powerful. The ginkgo biloba, that not the bitter melon. I'm sorry, the bitter melon works so powerfully that we don't want you to bottom out. So you check your levels like you normally would. If you're trying to wean yourself from your medication, I'm not telling you this is what I would do. Okay, just want to not medicate but educate. So first thing in the morning, check your levels. If the levels are good, then go ahead, take your tincture, okay, one full drop, and do that for 3 days. In the morning and in the evening. If everything is fine, your normals are good, your levels are good, then bump it up to two. So just monitor yourself. That's if you have diabetes and we're dealing with, yeah, dealing with the bitter melon. But the other ones, straight across the board. The ginkgo biloba, I sometimes take 3. Yeah. Only because it's
Mm,
good, but I mean, yeah. But
good.
just take 2, okay?
There you go. We got you loud and clear.
Look at
Do
there.
you do consultations? Lasonia is wondering.
Oh, absolutely. I'm such a good question. So let me tell you, you know, first of all, yes, we absolutely do. In fact, we can't help ourselves. Usually, when we talk to people, especially in person, and they're buying our product, because we want to let them know that whatever it is that you're dealing with, first we want to ascertain the cause of whatever it is that you're dealing with. That's the first step that you want to do. Then we want to talk you through correcting the wrong habits that you have. And once we do that, then we encourage you to unchange those unhealthy habits. And then that's where our tinctures and supplements come in, because we want to assist nature with all the other things that you're doing. So we absolutely do consultations. So when you go to our website and you click on learn, now, learn will show you our ministry side. Now, that's something we really hadn't talked about. We're doing this as an industry because our ministry, which is Powerhouse Health, that our ministry is because people are wanting to go back to natural, but they don't have the money. And of course, going natural, typically you can't use your insurance. But why should someone be denied health or health care because they don't have money? That
Right.
doesn't make sense. So we're praying that the Lord will bless our industry side so that we can fund those people that are serious about their health and that really want to get well, so that we can send them to your Living Springs retreats, to some of the other ministries that take people in to treat them naturally and literally heal their diseases.
Beautiful. And I love that with your consultations, and there's the contact information on the bottom of the screen, folks. But I love that you're teaching people how to live an all round healthy lifestyle.
Mhm.
Because you could counteract the otherwise positive benefits of really cool products by just making, the kind of choices that you're helping people move away from and really help them to live their best version of how God created them to be. Can you take more than one of these at a time? More than one of your blends at a time?
Oh, is that naturally re? Naturally re? Let me tell you. Okay, don't judge me, but I take the cleaver, I take the bitter melon, and I take the ginkgo biloba all at once. You can put it in like 2 ounces of water. I'll be honest, I put it under my tongue. Now, when you put it under your tongue and hold it there, it goes direct even quicker. It already goes quick because it's a tincture, but when you put it in your mouth under your tongue, it mixes with your saliva and it goes into your system much quicker just from holding it. Let's say maybe 30 seconds, then you swallow it. But absolutely, literally, I
Yeah.
take cleaver, bitter melon, and our ginkgo biloba at one time.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, that's a good question. Thank you for that. And Cherry's back. She asked, "What can you take to cure vaginal atrophy?"
Oh, 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 oh. Okay, literally, I ginkgo biloba. Listen carefully. Okay, let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. I
While
see. I
she's
said the
finding it, we would use the term perhaps use as in aiding the body's healing of itself
Mhm.
rather than cure. This reversal perhaps of symptoms. So yeah,
Exactly, reserve yes, thank you. So, the ginkgo biloba, because it helps with the flow, with blood flow and so forth, going through all parts of the body, it goes there, and that's another thing you can research because I mean, it reaches all of our areas, our genital areas and so forth. So absolutely. Because where you have blood flow, you can get health back in. That's why getting blood flow to your scalp helps your hair grow. It helps any kind of issue that you have. But the ginkgo biloba, good question.
wonderful. So more sparks for the marriage out there. Very good questions. Thank you. Can you use any of this for high blood pressure?
Absolutely. One, the ginkgo biloba again, but number two, the bitter melon. Those two. And actually, if you want like a 1-2 punch, do the pack, the ginkgo and the bitter melon.
Excellent, excellent. Well,
Let me
that
show you
may
this.
be it for the questions. But yeah, what was this that your husband handed you a few minutes ago?
Okay,
We were all curious.
this is ginkgo biloba. We literally research where there are trees and we get the leaves. And if you research the ones that are turning yellow, those have the strongest and most medicinal potent powers in them that when they're turning yellow. You don't, I mean, green is good and it's helpful, but when they're in between the yellow,
Hmm,
like these. So this is ginkgo biloba leaves. Not yet
fascinating.
processed.
You guys are in a really good climate for a lot of growing a lot of these, aren't you? Oh,
Oh,
yeah, and we've got another question. What is good for endometriosis stage 4 pain and
mm,
cysts?
okay. Pain and cyst, soursop. The soursop extract. Absolutely, absolutely. Because remember, I was telling you about the young lady with the stage 4 triple negative breast cancer and the pain. She had a pain going to her nerve. And literally, she said, I mean, I guess she said 3 days consecutively. So she made sure that it wasn't just one day and it was just a fluke, but literally the sour sap extract.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for that question.
And another thing with the sour sap, if you research that, and I love how you said the word as help, cancer and cyst and tumors soursop. I think that's one of the reasons why it's so widespread now. People are going crazy over soursop, because the things that they're researching, and honestly, I don't know what the numbers are. I know that cancer is so prevalent. We all know I mean, numerous people that we know personally with cancer dealing with it. So to find something natural that will help, that will actually do more than help, then it's a
Mhm.
blessing.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, God provides. Well, that's all the time we have for questions today. Thank you for sending them in. And Melissa, thank you for being an enthusiastic, just creation of God yourself. And you've really brought us
Oh, thank
into
you.
your experience. This has felt just very, very real, very much like we've been brought into you and your husband's journey and are experiencing your joys and the challenges and sorrows for those who you're ministering to, but then how God provides the solution. So thank you. Any closing thoughts before we say bye to our live audience?
Okay. Well, I want to tease you and have you to try to pronounce my last name, my
Summers.
hyphenated.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
it's
I gotta have it
going
on the screen. You guys gotta put it on the screen if she's gonna make me do this.
you got it,
This is your
BEA.
closing remarks?
No, no, my closing remarks, though,
I'm
is
just
that,
joking.
I had to mess with you, but, just know, one, that God truly does love you, and when we are afforded the privilege to love one another through the love of God, God can bless and give true healing. God is the one that heals. He's our great physician, and He uses us. And when He says, "Physician, heal thyself," He gives us the information, the education, and the wisdom to do and to utilize the things of nature if we allow it. So, would love to hear from you. And they've shared our website. And thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you.
Thank you, Melissa, for being here. And your comments at the end just make me reminded of why I love doing this. This is
Yeah.
all about God and His design for us. So we'll say goodbye to Melissa and have a
Bye.
little closing promo for next week. Who do we have coming up next week? It is Dr. Dana Philisaint joining us again on how to manage our negative thoughts. What is the source of our negative thoughts sometimes? Where do they come from? How do we deal with that in a way that will just bring vibrancy, health, and happiness to our mental and relational life? So join us next Wednesday, September 17 at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central for that episode. And of course, lest we forget to thank our producer, Christian Digital Network, producing with purpose. From likes to lives changed. Subscribe to their channel at that QR code. And I've really enjoyed this being with you guys again. I love doing the live events. So thanks for engaging in the comments. And those who are watching this later, we bid you farewell also. And God bless each one of you. I'm Scott Ritzema, host